Children, it is interesting to know that an organism can be made up of a single cell like amoeba, like a unicellular algae, example Chlamydomonas, or it can be of multicellular type too, like we human beings, or a multicellular algae like Spirogyra, and there are many more examples. But now, a cell is able to work independently because there are certain structures which are present inside the cell which work in close coordination and association with each other. Such structures present inside a cell are called as cell organelles. So today we will be studying about certain cell organelles that are present inside it. For example, first let us take very basic called as nucleus. Nucleus commonly it is called as brain of the cell. So just as whatever function is of our brain, human brain, same function in a cell is given by or is taken up by nucleus. Nucleus is therefore called as the brain of cell. It instructs the entire cell to carry on different activities. If we see the discoverer, it was discovered by Robert Brown. Now please remember it's not Robert who discovered dead cells, but it is Robert Brown who discovered nucleus. Okay. If we come to the structure, structurally it is made up of double membrane. So I'll be drawing a structure like this, but you are seeing that in between I am leaving some spaces. So these spaces, in fact, they are called, I am not leaving anyhow, but these spaces depict certain structures. They are called as nuclear pores. So the spaces which are present in between the membrane, they are called as nuclear pores. We will see what is the function of nuclear pores and everything. Okay. Now let's see. So let's see, this is outer and inner membrane. Let's label them one by one. Outer membrane and inner. Outer membrane, you can label it separately also. Let's label it separately. Outer membrane and second inner membrane. Okay. So this is inner membrane. Then next, after inner membrane, I am labeling this space which is left in between the new membranes. These spaces are called as nuclear pores. Okay. Now nuclear pores, what is the function of nuclear pores? It helps in the exchange of material from inside the nucleus to outside the nucleus. Obviously this nucleus is placed inside a cell. So between the fluid which is present inside the nucleus, that is called as nucleoplast, and the exchange of material occurs between nucleoplast and cytoplasm, and this is facilitated by nuclear pore. So we can say the function of nuclear pore is to allow the passage of or exchange of material between nucleoplast and cytoplasm. Then there is a spherical dense structure inside the nucleus, and this is called as nucleolus. Inside the nucleus we have thread-like structures which are called as chromatin threads. These chromatin threads, though they appear like thread-like structures, but whenever the time of cell division is there, they condense and they form chromosomes. Okay, so once again let's go through the structure of nucleus. Nucleus is a double membrane bound structure, and the nuclear membrane is not continuous. It is perforated at places. These pores are called as nuclear pores. Function of nuclear pore is to allow exchange of material between nucleoplast and the cytoplasm. Inside the nucleus there is a dense spherical structure which is called as nucleolus. It contains chromatin threads and helps in protein synthesis also. Also it has ribosomes also, helps in protein synthesis as well. So this is the structure of nucleus. Basic function is to control and coordinate all the activities that occur inside a cell. Fine? So now if this nucleus is prominent like this one, then the organism is said to be eukaryote. So it is very important, apart from controlling the activities of the cell, it also has taxonomic value, means classification value. If it is present in a well-defined manner, then the organism is called as eukaryote. So we people are eukaryotes. And if the nucleus is not prominent, it is incipient, it is not prominent, then it is a prokaryote. An incipient nucleus is called as nucleoid. We don't say nucleus there, we call it as nucleoid. Hope that is clear. So moving to the next organelle, let me now move to the next one. That is, let us take mitochondria. So if I take mitochondria, mitochondria also has a nickname. It is called as powerhouse of the cell. Now why it is called as powerhouse of the cell? It is because it is this organelle that produces energy in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. It stands for adenosine triphosphate. Okay, triphosphate, TRI and then phosphate. So there are 3 phosphate groups. So it provides energy in the form of ATP. Wherever energy is required in a body, this ATP helps in overcoming or helping out that reaction or the biochemical process to occur. Fine? Now, let us come to its structure, a bit of structure and function. So, function is very much clear. It provides energy for various activities for the cell in the form of ATP. If we see the structure, structurally it is double membrane bound. Outer membrane is continuous, okay, and inner membrane you will see, I will not draw continuous, I am doing like this. So it is inner membrane is thrown into infoldings. These infoldings are called as cristae. Okay, these foldings are called as cristae. And this organelle is specific. It is unique because it has its own circular DNA. So it can replicate itself. It can make its own protein as well. Then there is a fluid filled inside it. This fluid is called as matrix. Okay, so if we see the structure, structurally mitochondria consist of 2 membranes, outer membrane and inner membrane. Outer membrane is continuous, but inner membrane is thrown into finger-like folds called cristae. Cristae are the sites of, it provides surface for oxysomes to attach. Now here ATP is stored. Fine. Now this mitochondria is unique because it has its own circular DNA and so it is able to replicate itself and is called as a semi-autonomous structure. Rest organelles will continue in the next video. Thank you.